What's up, everybody? Welcome back to TD Fans Talk. Man, it is official, ladies and gentlemen. It has gone down. Xavier Howard is the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. This is breaking news. Ladies and gentlemen, we have breaking news. Xavier Howard is the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. He has received a 5-year, $76.5 million contract. What's up? I'm going to give y'all a little bit to come in the room, tell you my thoughts about it, and tell you where I stand on it and what I think. Whether I think it's a great move, a bad move, or indifferent. So we'll give a few people some time to come in the room. I'm going to go ahead and grab my drink. One moment, guys. I love Howard, but too much money. We're going to talk about that, D, because you know what? All this time I've been saying too much money is something that I haven't really been thinking about that makes all the sense in the world, where technically it is too much money, but it's not going to hurt us at all. And once a few more people come in the room, I'm going to start explaining why this actually ain't a bad deal. And I'll explain to you all in just a moment, man. $76.5 million. So he's basically getting an average of about a little over 15 million a year. Well, 15 puts him at 75. Let me do the math for you. 6 is 4, 75. Well, he getting 76.5, okay? So 1.5 divided by the 5 is, so he's getting 15,300,000 a year. Is it worth it to have him for 5 years? Yes, it is. We're going to talk about it in just a second. I'm going to get a few more people in the room, but this is breaking news. Xavier Howard is now the highest paid cornerback in the NFL, and I'm not mad about it. You know, I've had my opinions about it, but I'm not mad about it at all. I actually see the benefit now of getting it done right now, and we'll talk about that in just a moment, man. We'll talk about it in just a moment. He is young and in his prime. We keep him. I ain't gonna say he in his prime. I think he's entering into his prime because he still has his flaws. So, because if this is his prime, then I would have never gave this deal. I think this deal was solely because they knew he was coming into his prime, and it's a perfect time, man. How do you like the O-line pickup? I love it. Adam, you got to check out the last video I made. 2 videos ago, I talked about the O-line pickup and why that is a steal. Go check that out, Adam. Now, let's go ahead and dive into it real quick, guys. Xavier Howard being the highest paid cornerback in the NFL. If you've been a part of this channel, you've heard me rip it apart several times. You don't pay a guy that kind of money unless you know for sure X, Y, and Z. Let me tell you why I'm starting to realize this is actually a smart move on the Dolphins' behalf. Let me break it down for you. Think about it. We just purged all our big contracts, right? Now, there are rumors that the salary cap is about to go up to about $200 million after this season right here. So that helps it as well, okay? Not only that, man. Am I blocked or... No, you're not blocked, Rip. I don't know what you're talking about. But not only is that more beneficial, but look, we got rid of all the big contracts. And at the end of the day, next year, we're going to be third in the NFL. We're projected to be third in the NFL with about, $78 million in free cap space. The year after that, we look like we're in a great position. The thing about this deal is there's only a 3-year guarantee, basically. Based off of the money, he's only guaranteed technically 3 years. Okay? So they're going ahead and paying him a big contract now so that during the time where we're rebuilding with all these rookie contracts, we got rid of all the big money. So in this type scenario, it's not a bad idea because you got to spend the money somehow anyway, and you weren't going to do it this year. So you restructure the deal and you get it done now. So he start making his money. You weren't going to spend a lot this year. So why not go ahead and pay him this year? Next year, you're going to have all these small contracts with these rookies and second-year players. You're not going to pay much next year. So why not go ahead and give him that money then? And then in that 3rd year, when things start to pick up, you pay him because he's worth it. But at the end of the day, after that, you're free. You're free. All the guaranteed money is done in 3 years. And that's the rebuilding time frame. With all these small draft, these first round draft picks, they're getting minimal dollars. So you pay the guy while you have the money to pay him, and hope that it works out, and you go towards winning a Super Bowl within the next 2 to 3 years, or fighting for one. So that's the only reason I don't see a problem with it, because the timing of them doing it now, and now this is post us signing all those contracts, cutting all those contracts. But doing it now, the next 3 years, we're not in salary cap prison. So if you're gonna spend any money on a guy, you might as well spend it then. And then when he comes back for his new contract, if he's still great, that's if he is. If he's still great after this deal, then you don't mind those last 2 years paying him. And to be honest with you might cut him and restructure his deal then. Think about it. Think about it. If you pay him for the 3 years, it doesn't hurt us because we don't have big contracts. That's what I'm trying to say. And after that, you're not on the hook. The reality is, I hate when people say, oh, he got a 5-year deal and it's worth $76.5 million. Listen, the NFL shows you that you don't pay attention to what the deal is worth. All you pay attention to is the guaranteed money. And the guaranteed money means he actually got a 3-year deal. And if you're that good for those 3 years, then we don't mind paying you that kind of money afterwards. In those 3 years where he's getting paid, it's not hurting us because we got all these rookie contracts and we're not in salary cap prison anymore. That's a huge benefit. So I'm not opposed to the deal. Again, I would never pay that much for a cornerback, but at the end of the day, the way our salary cap is set up, the way our books are set up, it doesn't hurt to do it now. And I'm going to be honest, I just came to that realization after seeing the deal, and I'm like, only 3 years guaranteed. What's happening in the next 3 years? We ain't paying nobody no big money but him and Laremy Tunsil. Every team can afford to pay some really good bucks on about 3 to 4 players on the roster. We're only going to be paying 2 players on the roster big money. Only 2. In 2 to 3 years, we're only going to be paying 2 players big money, and that is Laremy Tunsil and Xavier Howard. We can absorb it right now. And that's why I don't mind it, because it's really only a 3-year guarantee, y'all. Based off of the money, it's only guaranteed during our building process. After that, he can be as good as cut, or we can keep on going. We have the decision. Once we got our team and we're ready to roll, it's going to be our decision at that point. And at that point, I can tell you now, he's probably going to have to get a restructured deal anyway. We always know when these top cornerbacks get their money, they may have 1 or 2 good seasons and then they start falling off. And that's what this deal is all about, man. I'm not complaining about it, because I'm actually happy they did it now instead of next offseason. And here's why. Because next offseason, you would have been locked in, giving them more money into the next, giving another year. Now we get to replace his contract this year. So that I love that part about it. Let me see what y'all talking about. The thing I love about this move is that we paid him now and not wait in it to the last minute. Exactly. The only player on the Dolphins who is worth being the highest paid at his position is Tunsil. Howard is the best corner in the league, and he can't stay healthy. But he is talented though. I agree, Jay Orion, but you also have to understand, just because his contract says 76.5 don't make him the highest paid corner. Yes, the numbers say he's the highest paid, but it's up to him to make it to the 4th or 5th year. The Dolphins have to want him in the 4th or 5th year. He might be 3 and out. Who knows? It depends. He has to right his own ship. But if he doesn't play well, it's an easy release for us after that 3rd year. This is a win. This is a big win for the Miami Dolphins, because of the timing. I would have not even approved of this deal had it happened next offseason. I just wouldn't have. I wouldn't have at all, man. What about my main man, Rashad Jones? Hey, what about him? What about him? I mean, they can't cut him. $19 million. The best thing they can do is trade him. But the problem with that is the other team have to take on his $25 million cap hit this year. They're not going to do that. So I don't think nothing about Rashad Jones. I find it hard to believe we'd actually cut him and waste that kind of money. It's crazy. TD, I love this move. X looks good in that green, boy. Hey, for 3 years, I'm going to say that, 420. Every day, 420 every day. I know what that means, but hey, for 3 years, man, get right. Tell the truth. Do you really like this deal? I like the deal from the timing, Winley. I really do. I really do, genuinely. Like I just said, if this happened next offseason, I would have hated this deal. Because we're going backwards into the same thing we've been in, salary cap prison, starting that trend again. But when you see us pick up players like who we picked up today at right guard, and we got receivers making the money they make, we can afford that for the next 2 years. You see what I mean? We got talent. We still got all this young talent at a low price on our roster right now. We can absorb it for the next 2 years. This ain't got nothing to do with whether he's worth it or not. This is everything to do with why not? It doesn't hurt our franchise right now. Now, if we had our team ready to roll and if we had 2 offensive linemen that weren't on rookie contracts, like decent ones, 8-rated contract players. If we had a defense full of players with 8-rated contracts, we wouldn't have been able to afford this move. I would have been yelling all about this move. This is dumb. What are we thinking? I would have been yelling all about it, but we got the room for it right now. If you were going to do this, you had to do it now because it would not hurt you long term. You're basically bound for 3 years. And no different from the Patriots. Like I said before, you can afford to pay 2 to 3 players a really great contract. Every team can afford to play 2 to 3 players a great contract. The problem is with a lot of these teams is when they pay those 3 players a great contract, then they paying those other players, the $5 million players, they're paying them $7 million all across the board. An extra $1 million here, an extra 2 there. It just gets ridiculous. It gets ridiculous. Why people keep talking about getting rid of Rashad Jones, get rid of TJ McDonald. None of those guys getting rid of, man. They'll be on this roster. X still on his rookie contract, right? This deal should have restructured and started the new deal. I'm assuming that it started the new deal this year. He's getting paid right now. You don't set up a new contract for the following year before the current year even start. This is his new deal, and he's going to start, getting paid right now. And unless I'm wrong, I'll go check that out, but that's usually how it works. That's why you do it in the off season before the season starts in the 4th year. That's why you got to do it then. Do you think we are done adding to the offensive line? No, I see maybe 1 or 2 more guys coming in. That's a lot of cheese. Yeah, it is, but at the end of the day, that puts him right in the line of what the Patriots cornerback getting. He is awesome. See, here's the difference, guys. If a player signs a 3-year, $50 million contract at cornerback, and Xavier Howard signs a 5-year, $76.5 million, they're going to say Xavier Howard is the highest paid corner, but in reality, that $50 million guy is the highest paid if $50 million is guaranteed. You see what I'm saying? So, because the last 2 years of Xavier Howard's contract is not guaranteed. None of it. None of it is guaranteed. Okay? So, at the end of the day, this isn't a bad move for the Miami Dolphins. Do you think we're done? He is awesome. He is overpaid. He is awesome and he is overpaid. But hey, we can absorb it right now, so we shouldn't be whining about it. Weren't you bashing the move before it happened a couple days ago? 420 every day. Have you been listening to me on this chat? I said I've been one of the main ones that wouldn't have paid a guy that kind of money. But when you look at our salary cap situation, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter because we done got rid of all the big contracts. We're going to have like almost $80 million of free cap space next season. You got to spend it somewhere. All you're doing is picking up new deals from rookies out of the draft that are small numbers. So it's not a bad thing. It's not going to hurt us. It's not going to put us at risk of, we can't afford this. We can't afford that. You see what I'm saying? Because more than half of our team is on a rookie contract. I told you about it. Let me see. What's good? It's a lot of money. Worth it. I told you about it, LOL. Yeah, you did, Rip. Right, exactly. TD, what about pass rush? There's a lot of good players out there. Remember, Winley, we're not in a rush. We got to stop being in a rush. Just because the Miami Dolphins ain't out there getting it. See, y'all want to build that Super Bowl team right now. We need 2 good pass rushers and we ready for war. It's not a rush. That's not what we're doing right now. We're building young. We're evaluating talent. We're in an evaluation stage, and we hope to be very competitive in that stage. So that's not what it's about. I'm going to be honest with you. The defensive ends might even be, see, that's why we're being patient. Here's why we're being patient. Why are we going to go out there and go pick up a guy in free agency, pick him up for 3 to 4 years, and they got age on them, and or they okay middle of the road? We want to be patient. Josh Rosen's gonna help us understand a lot. Imagine if Josh Rosen works out. Then thank God we were patient. We ain't got to waste our next year's first round pick on the quarterback, and bam, a top pick at the defensive end position. You see what I'm saying? So would you rather a free agent right now that's middle of the road, decent, all right, we bringing the guy in for 3 years, 2 years, 4 years, or do you want to be patient and potentially get a number 1 overall pick or something like that that's a defensive end? You see what I'm saying? That guaranteed guy to go next to Christian Wilkins. Do y'all see what I mean? Just imagine in the next 3 years, the first round pick was Christian Wilkins. The next year, the best defensive lineman in the game. And the year after that, the best linebacker or even another defensive lineman or a cornerback. You see what I'm saying? And it might even be Xavier Howard's replacement after his guaranteed money. You better wake up. Flores and them ain't crazy. You think they're going to let Xavier Howard make it to his 4th and 5th year of that contract? And whether it's next year or the year after that, they already going to be drafting his replacement, hoping that they can find a guy to replace him so that they can rotate that $15.3 million out of the way and go ahead and find we got a draft pick that turned out just as good as him. And you know what? We're only paying him $3 million a year for 4 years. Do you see what's happening here? For the next 3 years, we got all this cap space. We're good. Give him his money right now. Let's stay competitive. Give him his money. But 3 years later, it's going to be. It's hard for me to see him on the roster in the 4th year of that contract, non-guaranteed. See, the process that the Patriots take is we always draft your replacement. If we give you even a decent deal, your replacement is coming in 2 years, and he's going to sit behind you for 1 year. And when he sit behind you for 1 year, if he's ready, we're going to go ahead and let you go. And if he's not ready, then we're going to make some decisions, try to restructure your deal or let you go and deal with his not ready and develop him. Man, trust me, it's going to be hard for him to make it to that 4th year. Trust me, because it's not a winning formula. Teams don't do that. That's why he only get a guarantee. He only got like 3 years worth guaranteed. Move TJ to outside linebacker since all of his likes to do is be in the box and hit them with Minka and Rashad at safety. Hey, I don't know what they're going to do, but we're going to wait on Flores and look at the look and see what happened, man. TD, happy to be on live with you. Love what you're doing. Appreciate you, Chris. Thanks for the love and support. Mr. 305 for real channel. I have a very good feeling that we might beat the Patriots twice in this year to the fact that Mr. Flores knows the Patriots playbook just like the Detroit Lions. I like the optimism about we're going to beat them twice, but I don't like the fact that since Flores know the playbook. I don't think Flores goes in the game like, oh, well, I know the playbook, so let's beat them. I think Flores approaches it, hey, this is the team that we're going to be playing against. Let's prepare like any other team, even like I don't know them. Let's evaluate what they're doing now. Let's evaluate what they're doing now and see how we need to combat that. About time they pay someone who worth it. I mean, I guess it's hard for me to even recognize he got paid, to be honest, because to me, it's like that throwaway money to show people. It's like, to me, it was almost an incentive deal to show all these young guys, hey, if you play hard, we're looking to reward you. But at the end of the day, when it comes to that 4th year, they probably going to move on or restructure. Very smart man. I swear we have to talk one day about the Dolphins. Appreciate you, Travis. Let's do it, man. Good move. Don't wait for someone else to pay him. He hasn't even peaked yet. Pay him. Robert, I don't agree with that theory of don't wait for someone else to pay him. Because what if all our young players become great? Then who do you leave out of the equation? You know? Imagine having Tunsil, the highest paid left tackle. Xavier Howard, the highest paid cornerback. Bobby McCain's already the highest paid nickel. Then imagine paying Minka Fitzpatrick the highest paid. Imagine Christian Wilkins being on our team the highest paid. Imagine us paying everybody. Then we would have 10 people on our roster and then everybody else will have to share $5 million. The league won't even allow it because the minimum contract wouldn't even be able to be spread out. So that's why I don't like that theory of, finally, make sure we pay our players before somebody else get them. No, you pay them what they're worth and what your salary cap can absorb for the future. And this was solely a deal that we can absorb. Imagine if we already had 2 more legit players on the roster with bigger contracts. X wouldn't have never got this deal. He wouldn't have never got this deal. Imagine us keeping Wake and Quinn. He would have never got this deal. But truth is, we would like to have 2 defensive ends worth $10 million each, right? But X wouldn't have never got this deal if we had that. And the only reason he got this deal is because the next 3 years, I'm going to keep on saying it, the next 3 years, we got to spend the money somewhere. We bringing in a whole bunch of rookie contracts. We don't spend money like that on that. Next year in the draft, we probably going to spend about 27 to 30 million in the draft. What about the other 50? You see what I mean? We got the money. So this is just hey, we rebuilding right now, and not even so much rebuilding, just improving the team. We're in that phase, so while we have the money, pay him, and it'll keep him here. And we can be competitive, and hopefully he works out. And then in that 4th year, watch they be talking to him in the 4th year. Because you know another thing that the Dolphins also know? Y'all, let's keep it 100. Let's look at the history of cornerbacks. You see the season he had last year? Is it realistic to say that he's going to consistently play that well and stay healthy all that time? Let's be honest. Y'all let me know in the comment section real quick. Is it realistic to say that he's going to be that consistent going forward for the next 5 years? Let's be honest. Is he going to be that consistent for the next 4 years? And I want you to answer that question looking at the past cornerbacks of the league. The reality is, no, it's not likely. I mean, we all hope he does, but it's not likely. So that's going to work in our favor after giving him his money for 3 years, and it's not hurting our salary cap because we ain't paying nobody for 3 years other than him and Tunsil. We ain't paying nobody. So after we give him his money, when that 4th year come, we gonna go back to him and sit down at the table. You're not, the same cornerback. You're not worth that kind of money. Let's go ahead and help you out and give you a 4-year, $40 million. And they're gonna bring it right back down, but he's still gonna respect that and get 10 per. They gonna adjust it. He gonna get 10 per on the back end. He never gonna, I'm telling y'all, it's gonna be hard for me to believe that man is gonna see the 4th year of this contract. Now, if he does, that means X turned out to be on the path of being one of the best cornerbacks in NFL history. You heard me? If he makes it to that 4th year and he's on our roster at that salary, I can tell you now, that means he is on his way to being one of, I ain't say the best, but one of the best cornerbacks in NFL history. A staple in the Miami Dolphins organization where they got one of the best cornerbacks, and he has been that way the whole time. And that ain't bad for us. $46 million guaranteed. Do y'all see how they did exactly 3 years? 3 years of his contract is $45,900,000. 3 years of his contract is $45,900,000. Do you see how they made it $46 million guaranteed? So if they cut him or in that 4th year, all they paying him is $100,000. Do y'all see how they conveniently made sure they did that? They conveniently made sure they did that. I can guarantee you they could have signed Xavier Howard on a 5-year, $60 million deal and just fully guaranteed the whole thing, and he would have took it. They could have signed him on a 5-year, $60 million and fully, because it's always about the guarantee. His agent would have told him, man, you better go with that $5 million, 5 years, $60 million over that 5 years, 76.5, because they guarantee the whole thing. But the Dolphins wouldn't go do that. They know what time it is in year 4. This is simple math here. I know people are gonna be like, oh, we paid him. Oh, we got him for 5 years. Oh, he under contract for 5 years. But trust me when I tell you, Go Gators said smart business. Exactly. This was nothing but a smart business move. Pay him for 3 years. We got the money and we ain't using it. We gotta use it. We gotta use it. So at the end of the day, pay him now. What good is it to sit around all the time and just saving $30 million to the side for nothing? Pay him now. Now we can really evaluate him. You know, I like it, man. I like the move. It's a good move. Dude been getting better every season. That's arguable. I mean, it's a good move though. You have to have at least one premier cornerback. Yeah, you do, but at the right price. That's why I'm telling you, they're gonna have the leverage in year 4 where they're gonna bring him back to the table, and he's gonna sign like another 4-year deal, and it's gonna be worth, and it's gonna take him until he's 31 years old to allow him to be a career Miami Dolphin. He's gonna sign like a 4-year, $40 million, and they're gonna get the $10 million a year that they prefer. When they got the team around them that they like, that's ready to go to the Super Bowl. You see what I'm saying? He earned his money. I told you they would break the bank to keep him. They didn't break the bank. Breaking the bank is, where are we going to find the money from? I don't know. Just sign him and cut somebody else. That's what they did for Russell Wilson, broke the bank. They signed him on $35 million, and then the next day they released one of their best defensive linemen. That's what you call breaking the bank for somebody. Paying over the salary cap, and now you got to let one of your great players go just to keep them. Just to make the contract happen. Right now, it ain't breaking the bank. We done released all his money. Give him his money now while we got it and we're not using it. That's what this was. That's what this was. Howard is the best player on the team. Hey, that's actually a sad truth, Go Gators. You shouldn't be proud of that. Just because somebody's the best player on the team, that don't mean that that's a great thing. That's actually not great if you ask me. Matter of fact, I disagree. Tunsil's the best player on the team. TD, you going to the first game versus the Ravens? I'll see you there, buddy. Blue chip player right here, right there. I hope so. I'm going for my birthday. That's what's up, man. I know one thing. Let Xavier Howard have one interception next year and be in injury trouble. Y'all better not say nothing to me, man. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm going to talk my noise about it, but I'm also going to say that's why I'm glad this contract happened during a time where it didn't matter. Where it didn't matter, man. They paid him top tier money. I agree. Maybe breaking the bank is a bad comment, but we ain't got anyone, so why not pay him? You know what? You're right. We ain't got nobody, so why not? Because the money allows us, and that's why you do it. It's also going to get his money too. Now, that's the one you got to look out for. The Rosen contract over the next 3 years is allowing us to pay Howard. If we keep Rosen, Terrence. If we keep Rosen. And you're right. You're right, Terrence. What I've been saying to y'all all this time. I've been saying, look at all these rookie quarterbacks in the playoffs. And the team can afford to get all these weapons around them. And then what do I say? What did I say, Terrence? I said as soon as them players off their rookie contract, then we wonder why they suck. So think about it. If Rosen just turns out to be the Mecca and be like, oh my God, we found our future in Rosen, yes. If he turns out to be that guy, imagine Josh Rosen when we pay him. Just in time to tell Xavier Howard, hey, homie, we can't afford you no more. We got to pay our quarterback. Do y'all see that? Do you see that? The exact math add up. The exact math is adding up. The exact same time frame. The exact same time frame that Minkah Fitzpatrick is going to be up for his big deal. The exact timing. And let me ask y'all this question. How about this? This is going to be a great one. Before I get out of here, I want to ask y'all this last question. Last question. Who do you think the Dolphins revere as going to be the better player when it's all said and done? Watch this. Who is going to be the better player when it's all said and done? This is going to be a great question. I want to see what y'all think. Who is going to be the better player when it's all said and done? Xavien Howard or Minkah Fitzpatrick? Or Minkah Fitzpatrick? Y'all let me know real quick in the comment section. Who's going to be the better player when it's all said and done? Ooh, this is going to be interesting. Who is going to be the better player? Minkah Fitzpatrick. Exactly. Had to pay him. Minkah. Exactly. Fitzpatrick, Minkah. I'm a Minkah fan. Minkah. X if he stays healthy. Man, Ty. Travis, the smart man. Travis a smart man. He ain't got to commit to either side. Minkah. But you see all these Minkah? Do you see all these Minkahs? This deal was built around The Josh Rosen situation and the Minkah Fitzpatrick contract. Who do we want to pay when it's time for Minkah to get paid? Who do you think gonna be the better player? This contract was a no-brainer, actually. And I don't know why I ain't never considered this. It makes sense. Yeah, go pay the man. But at the end of the day, it's not hurting us over the next few years. But when it's time for Minkah to get his money, when it's time for Josh Rosen, if he works out to get his money, who you think they gonna cut short out of all this? This Greer was, this contract was built right for this situation. They ain't dumb, man. That front office putting in work, man. Greer be doing these little small, subtle things, and I know a lot of y'all saw the highlight or the phone notification, Xavier Howard, highest paid corner, and you're like, yeah, or I told you, or all that. No, well, you better pay attention to these deals and what's really going into them. Greer is official, bro. You're right. If you don't see what's actually happening with this deal is of no consequence to the Miami Dolphins. If it was of consequence, I would have been over here screaming and shouting, what are we doing? What are we doing? What are we doing? But this deal is of no consequence. It frees us of the deal when it's time for Minkah to get paid. Because I can tell you now, Minkah's going to turn out to be the better player. Minkah's going to turn out to be the more explosive, the more exciting, the more likable player. Minkah and Rosen. If Rosen turns out, X money getting cut by X, or do you want to restructure? It's up to you, bro. We can care less. We just thought you earned it back then, so we gave you 3 years of your money, man. And you know good and well the last few years probably ain't going to be as good. So, wasn't as good, so you might as well give us a deal. Let's go ahead and restructure your deal. That's what's going to happen, man. No guaranteed money in the last 2 seasons, man. This is a win for the Miami Dolphins because it's of no consequence, all right? But how do you know? Yeah, you don't, Rip. But the spelling, that's why they made the deal what it was, because they don't know. But you know what? At least we know our Miami Dolphins front office was smart about it. We're not going to be in prison over it. On the 4th year, we're not in prison. If he turned out to be a bum, yes, we didn't. Oh my gosh, this ain't a Rashad Jones situation where he's gonna count $25 million against the cap in year 4. We can let him go and be just fine. Just be just fine. This is not that type of situation, thank God. You see what I'm saying? That's why it don't matter if we don't know. We built the contract so that even though we don't know, we don't get burnt from it. We don't get burnt. I'm telling y'all now, his agent probably came in there offering for 5 years, $65 million and go ahead and guarantee the whole thing. And they said, no, we'll give you more money. We just want to guarantee less. We want to guarantee less. Then why didn't we trade him if we only have him for 3 years, but we won't win in those years? Why wouldn't you trade him? Because again, the previous person said because you don't know. Like I said, if he makes it to his fourth year of that contract, that means he's turning out to be one of the best cornerbacks in NFL history. Not the best, but one of. And then it's worth it. Then it's worth it. All I'm preaching to y'all right now is this deal was so friendly to us to not be in prison when year 4 comes. We won't be in a Rashad Jones situation. Imagine if we had an option on Rashad Jones and we didn't take a cap hit this year. Jones would have been cut. We wouldn't even been talking about Rashad Jones anymore. He would have been cut. Come on, man. Bingo. Chris said hit it right on the head. Tradable in that 4th year as well. More draft picks. He's also tradable. So right before we about to let him go, let's see if we can trade him first. They don't know we gonna let him go. Let's put him on the block and let's see what fool gonna give us a 2nd rounder maybe. Especially if we go in the draft in the next 3 seasons and find his replacement. Oh my gosh, let's see what idiot will give us a 2nd round pick for him. I mean, I'll go as far as saying even if he turns out to be one of the best of all time, when that 4th year comes, we might let him go anyway. If he one of the best of all time, we might get a 1st round pick for him. We might let him go anyway. We might be sitting there talking about a 29 going on 30-year cornerback, still in his prime. Don't give me my 1st round pick. So whoever won it, especially if he balling out, think about it. Would you not do that? A 29-year-old quarterback still playing at an elite level, but he's 29 and you can get a first-round pick for it? Would you not take that? Would you not take that? Tell me I'm crazy right now. You wouldn't take that deal? You wouldn't go get that first-round pick? A fresh new body in the first round? Come on, man. That's why even if he's balling out, he may not be safe in that 4th year. Rip Tupac say, I don't know. Yeah, well, that's fine if you don't know. Because that still puts you at, I don't know. It ain't making you say, no, I wouldn't do it. I would take X. No, it ain't making you say that. Depends. See, even that's fair. But it ain't making you say, no, I'm going with X. 29? Really? Really? 29? Come on, man. Stop hating on Howard, bro. Oh, this ain't a hate fest. I hope he balls his behind off in the next 3 years. But can I speak the facts? Am I allowed to, Miami Dolphin? Am I allowed to speak the facts? At the end of the day, do you not see what I see? You think this contract is designed to let him make it past the 3rd year? Come on, Miami Dolphin. How about you make sense of it? Do you think this contract was designed for him to make it past the 3rd year? They actually guaranteed 3 years on the mark. Oh my gosh, $45,900,000 is what he makes in a 3-year period, and they guaranteed 46, $100,000 more than 3 years is valued at. And here's the crazy thing about that too. Let me tell y'all something. He actually ain't even guaranteed 3 years. He's actually only guaranteed like 2.5 years, because if you look at the terms of his contract, he's not getting 15.3 in his first 2 years. He's getting 17 something in the first 2 years. The way that they structured it, that's even selling it more for y'all. The way they structured it, they got his first 2 years at like 17 something million. They trying to hurry up and get through that guaranteed money. They trying to get to 35 million, y'all. They literally trying to get through 35 million within 2 years, making that 3rd year about 10 million worth. So that if they wanted, they could restructure in the 3rd year if they have to. I personally think, he's going to be on the roster the 3rd year, because you don't want to take an $11 million hit in year 3. But it helps you out because some of those younger contracts are going to get new contracts. And that's why they made the first 2 years 17 per. Because we ain't paying nobody this year and next year. All of them rookie deals. We ain't paying nobody. That's why they are literally giving him like 17 something in the first and the 2nd year. Go look at the details of the deal. 35 million over the first 2 seasons. They trying to get all that big money out the way. They trying to get that big money out of the way, man. They just want to congratulate him now, 2 years. And then the last 3 years, he's going to average around 11 to 12 million of a cap hit. In that case, he might actually last. Because they're going to look at it as, he only making 12 million a year. That's how they're going to look at it. He only making 12 million a year. No, his contract's 15.3. No, in the first 2 years, we paid him 17 and something just to get it out of the way because we didn't have no salary those 2 years. We could do it then. This is a win for the Greer. Greer. You know what? I got to give a shout out to Greer. Greer, a smart man. He did this one right. The way he structured it was perfect for the organization. Pay the man, reward him up front to keep him happy. And on the back end, he's still going to get paid, but it ain't going to be that 15 million counting against us a year. It's going to be like 12. It's going to be like 12 a year counting against us when it's time to sign some of the young players that we're signing now. Greer gets an A+ for this move. And it's not about the exact deal and how much. All y'all pay attention to how much the deal is. I don't care nothing about how much the deal is. I'm looking at the terms of the deal. And this one is a master at work. I love this. You reward a guy, you pay him, you keep him happy and all, regardless of the situation. And since we're not spending much, you're giving him his money up front. And then on the back end, it's kind of spread out better. You notice Rashad Jones, we were paying him like 14 a year early on, and now he's in the 19s and taking a 25 million cap hit. We learned from that. Let's reverse that action. Give him a lot up front while we got these small contracts so it don't hurt us. Then when we got the great players on the team and they all signed on new deals, Xavier Howard is only making 12 million a year. Well, that ain't what his contract say, but that's how we designed it. Shout out Julian with the donation. Do you think Rosen will be our future? Man, I hope so, man. Because let me tell you something. If Rosen turns out to be our future, do you know how huge that is for our first rounder next year? Say Rosen ball out. Do you know that we can go in the draft and get a top pick, like literally a defensive end? Or if we picking in the mids, we can get one of the best linebackers. Or we could bring in another guard or a starting right tackle. Do you know how different? And we might have 2 first-round picks next year. Do you know how huge that would be if Rosen works out and we got 2 first-round picks and we can get 2 impact players to start the season next year? Oh, my gosh. We going into war ready. We going into war ready. Young, our roster is so young and talented. That's what the Rosen deal is all about is, oh my gosh, you pray that if it works out, do you know we accelerate the rebuild process by like a whole year and a half if Rosen works out? We're competing next year after the draft, man. After the draft, man. It's crazy, man. If Rosen plays elite, we in the playoffs. I'm not knocking that. I mean, people need to understand, man, you don't know what can happen this year. Football is football. You got to go out there and be a man and show that that you're a man. Just because somebody got a 10-rated player don't mean that they can be more impactful to a game than that 8-rated player. Especially if you got more 8s than they do. From LSU, we move him to strong safety. We pair with Minka. At free safety, we release Jones. That might be the case, Anthony. They're going to be all right. We're going to be straight, y'all, man. But anyway, y'all, listen. I love this move. At first I said I like it, but I actually love it. I just sat here and talked myself through the whole situation. I actually realized that I read that he's getting more money on the first 2 seasons, like 17 per for the first 2. And when I read, when I remember I read that, I put 2 and 2 together, and that's the highlight of this deal. The highlight of this deal is that they're giving him 17-something this year and next year. That is the highlight of the deal. Get it out the way. Throw chunks at him now when we got the money and we ain't spending it on nothing else. We ain't spending it on nothing else, y'all. Y'all know that, right? We're not spending it on anything else. And the good thing about dead cap, you're allowed to take it, you're allowed to push it, if I'm not mistaken, for like 4 years. You're allowed to spread it out like, I'm gonna take a hit of this amount. You're allowed to do stuff like that. We could trade our second round pick to get back in for a first round. I know. Trust me, we about to go to work. We got like 13 draft picks. We're gonna go to work next summer. And I'm telling you, Kenny Stills maybe giving us another draft pick. Rashad Jones mid-season might give us another draft pick. Y'all better keep your eyes open, man. Even Kiko Alonso might give us another draft pick. Keep your eyes open, ladies and gentlemen. You just figured out how they're going to get him out of the building. You don't like Howard. I didn't figure out how they're going to get him out the building. I figured out how they're going to manage his salary to have a great team around him if he stays. Think about it. If we're paying him a chunk of 17 in the first and the second year, did you not just hear me say, Kay, pay attention, man. Did you not just hear me say that it's actually going to help him have a better possibility of staying on the roster because in year 4 and 5, they'll only be paying him like a $12 million per. So he might actually have a better chance. But they built the contract to not be in prison to have to keep him if he don't work out. How is that saying I just don't like Howard? How is that saying I don't like him? It's okay, man. Well, at least you know what? You recognize the deal yourself. Ain't nothing I said was false, though. Can you acknowledge that? We've been rebuilding for the last 10 years. Yes, and it's time to come to an end, bro. We've been rebuilding over 15 years. Facts. He earned that money, bro. Okay, then they giving it to him now. And matter of fact, they giving most of it to him when it's of no consequence to us. They're not even blinking about it. They're like, well, let's go ahead and lump him up during the first 2 or 3 years, give him a lot of the money. Then on the back end, we got all the options in the world. We don't feel like we in prison. We don't feel like we stuck if he don't turn out to keep on being great. I mean, is there something wrong with me talking about? See, y'all be getting mad that I care about the franchise more than the player. Am I supposed to be more happy for Xavien Howard getting the deal, or more happy that our team set the deal up to where they make him happy, but they don't put themselves in prison if they have to cut ties? You know what? I want y'all football enthusiasts, 72 of y'all in the room. Y'all tell me, option one. Pick an option for me. Option one, be happy for X, even if he sucks for the next 5 years and he takes our money. Be happy for his contract. That's option one. Option two, be excited and happy for his contract, but be even more excited and happy of the simple fact that we're able to bless him with that contract and not put ourselves under a restriction long term, in prison long term. Give me option one or two. Let me see if y'all make sense of things to all these haters. Option one or two, just be happy for X, or be happy for him and our team for setting up the deal to not be in prison just in case he sucks. Oh, y'all let me know in the comment. Option one or option two, man. I know what you're saying, but you have never really liked the dude. I've heard you talk about him, bro. Okay, K, how does that mean I don't like him? Everything I've said, when you say somebody talk about something, you can't look at the fact they're talking about them. You have to look at the fact of, is what the person talking about, is it true? Is it true? How does it, if I'm saying facts about a guy and those facts aren't favorable, how does that equate to me not liking him? I'm just stating facts. He gets beat sometimes. He's hurt a lot. He got 6 picks. And that's how he made the Pro Bowl, not from his coverage. And that's hating. These are facts. Come on, man. Let me see what y'all was talking about. Option two. Thank you, Chris. A. Okay, Rip. Be happy for Xavier Howard. Now, Rip, how would you feel? Oh, you said just kidding a few options later. Nah, option two. Team friendly deals just in case he don't work out. It's common sense, but for me, it's hating, you know? Anthony, option B. Nah, option one. That's Rip Tupac playing. I'll take option two. TD, I just posted it on another vid of yours. Appreciate you, man. For 2011. I've been a fan since 81. Oh, cool. I'm just saying the dude earned his money. And of course, I want the franchise to flourish. But Kay, that's arguable. The man didn't earn his money. I'm not even going to sit here and say he earned his money. Now, if he had a 5-year, $60 million deal, I would say he earned his money. But we're giving a bigger contract than he's earned. He is not the best cornerback in the league. That's my point. So how do you make somebody the highest paid if they're not the best? But you want to say he earned his money. You want to say he earned his money. I would have been happy if it was 14 per, but they made it 15.3. He didn't earn that. But at the end of the day, I'm happy he got it, because at the end of the day, it keeps him, because there's no consequence to the team. It doesn't matter. It doesn't hurt the team whatsoever. So it's not a big deal. So if you can overpay a player and it don't hurt the team, throw the book at him. Why not? Throw the money at him. Throw the money at it, man. Option B, he's good but not top. I'd say top paid good. Thank you, Jay. We just overpay him, TD. I know, but at the end of the day, did we overpay him? If it doesn't matter, you got to spend the money somewhere. Why not go ahead and see if you're in a luxury like we are right now, to where you can overpay somebody and give them the money up front in the first few years, then do it. These are rare. This don't happen often. This doesn't happen often. You're right. Some people just don't get it. I don't know how. See, they mistake the facts for hate. They mistake facts for hate. They want to say I'm hating when I'm throwing out facts. That means they want to ignore the truth. And I ain't talking about you per se, K. But some people want to ignore the truth. Facts are facts, man. Just because I spit it out don't mean I hate the man. I'm happy he is on our roster. I mean, we can have half as valued player as him, and we be trash at the position. I am happy. Matter of fact, I want him to actually turn out to be amazing. Amazing, man. It's crazy, but it's all right, man. We give him most of it up front. I agree he is not the best, but he is damn good. Now, that's more like it. You right, TD. LOK, just kidding. It's only a year until Jalen breaks the bank. Possibly. 51 million guaranteed. Crazy, TD. Smart move by the front office. Enough said. Exactly, man. TD, how are you and the family after the accident? I'm glad you guys survived and no bad injuries. Just pain, man. And I'm having a hard time sleeping at night. I'm going to be honest with y'all. Having a hard time sleeping at night. It's a lot of pain, man. A lot of pain. And like even right now, just sitting up, I ain't feeling my best, but I love doing this. Y'all already know. And we got breaking news, man. Dolphins need to start QB, no more average guys. All we need is an average QB, man. TD, when are we going to pay Sam Young? I don't know. That's up to the front office. We'll get to him on the position, at the positions, man. Break the bank for Sam Young. So say that, bro. LOL. He is definitely damn good. I've been saying that. He is a good corner. But I'm not going to sit here and make him more than he is. He's not the best, and he has his flaws. You can be damn good and have flaws. Is it bad for me to point out the flaws? Because I want him to work on those. I want people to recognize his flaws. So when they watch him on tape, they can say, yeah, I see that. Hopefully he improves it. And you can appreciate his growth. Xavier Howard can come into this season right here being the best corner, cover corner there is. No separation, just locking guys down. The sad truth about it is none of y'all will appreciate his growth because you never seen his flaw. You never seen his flaw. You never seen him get better over time. You just thought he was who he was and still balling because all you look at is the surface numbers. You don't watch the plays when the ball don't come to him. I watch the plays when the ball don't come to him. How dang, if the quarterback would have threw it on his side, Xavier got beat. I watch it all because this is what matters. This is the difference when he plays an elite quarterback and he's ripping them apart versus a boo-boo quarterback and he's having a field day. Oh, did you get one? I don't know what y'all talking about. You guys draft. Did you get a QB? No, we traded for a QB. Sam Young, knock it off. I know, man. I'm just entertaining real. Okay, bro, he is a very good. He is not Jalen Ramsey, but he's good. I agree. The real, I miss Sam Madison. Remember that. Hey, y'all, man, I'm about to end this stream, man. This TD Fans Talk, y'all. These are bright days for the Miami Dolphins, man. These are bright days for the Miami Dolphins, y'all. Y'all see the shirt, man. Me, Dick. Dick is the Jets fans. And on the back it say, don't be a dick. But anyway, TD, I would have done 12 to 14 mil per year. That's what I've been preaching, though. That's what I've been saying all this time. I've been saying that all this time. I even gave up and said, maybe even 14.5. I even went as high as that. But 15.3 ain't far off. Y'all already know. I'm going to be honest. I'm going to be honest with y'all. If you go look at my previous streams talking about Xavier Howard, I was just scared they were going to give him 16, 17 million. Go look at my old streams. I was like, this guy want to be the highest paid around 16, 17 million. All right, we crazy. I was ranting about it. I thought that they were going to give him 16, 17. But it turned out to be 15.3. 15.3 million. And then on top of it, 3 years guaranteed. So when I said at the max 14, it kind of met in the middle. It ain't a bad thing for our team. This is actually a win on the books, man. I coached secondary for 14 years. That's all I ever watch, which is why the NFL is so frustrating. So, okay, if you coach secondary for 14 years, because I coach football too. If you coach secondary for 14 years, bro, how about you tell me what you see from Xavier Howard out there on that field? Why don't you keep it real? Why don't you tell everybody in the chat section right now one thing that he can improve in to make sure that he live up to that money? I mean, and if you say nothing, then, hey, man, I'm a little curious, man. I'm a little curious. You know, what's something he can do to get better? Because I know you out there watching those guys in that secondary and how they move and how they play off each other, especially in the zone, how they in the area and then they veer off to the other area to pick up this guy, that guy. If they good in coverage, if they can play the zone well, if they can lock down their man, if they can actually read offenses and different stuff like that. In 14 years, you should have a lot of that up in you. So tell us, what is something that Xavien Howard can improve on? Because if you're going to sit here and say nothing, then you being a coach, secondary coach for 14 years don't mean nothing to me. Tunsil up next. Now that one, I don't mind contradicting myself. Get that man his money. That's who earned it. That's who earned it. That's who earned it. I don't see him out there getting beat. I don't see him out there getting beat on. He has gotten better every year. I agree. He can improve upon his transitions of offhand jams. Okay. But you know what? I never see him really playing that a lot of jam, a lot of bump and run coverage defense. But you're correct. He can also work on his pedal. All right, and that's a huge reason why he gets beat a lot of times. But the difference is, as soon as he come out of that pedal and break, he has good recovery. He has good recovery from his flaws in his back pedal. He has great recovery in that though. He skips instead of pedals, and that's probably why he can't get out of it great. But whenever he does break out of it, he does have great recovery. It's the NFL. No one can lock someone up every play. He makes plays when the ball is thrown at him. That's the matter. That's false, Allen. You see, when we say lock somebody down, don't mean you're going to stop the completion. It don't mean you're going to stop the completion. It just means that during every play, you got a chance at that ball. Don't mean you're going to win every battle. So that's incorrect. You can be a lockdown corner. A lockdown corner does not mean the guy you guard ain't going to complete the ball. It just means you're within 1 foot of that guy every time. That's lockdown. That's my definition of lockdown. You ain't got to stop every play. But let me see you in the vicinity every single time. Vicinity. They do some press bail. But like I said, on the bail, he has great recovery, man. X is a god. Come on now, Dark. You tripping. Allen Wright. I love X, but he is really a top. Is he really a top 5 corner? I'll put him in that 4 to 7 range, maybe. I'll give him that. Be 4 to 7, X is that 8 player we needed. God, man. Terrence, you spot on, but I'm actually get him in an 8.5, man. 8.3, 8.5. I give him an 8.5 out of 10, not an 8. I give him a little more just because he still has upside. He still has upside. But based off of what he has done for us lately, I give him about an 8.2. So he's up there. Anything over a 7, I love. Anything over a 7, I love. And he is that 8. He's above an 8. He's above an 8. So, but you're kind of spot on, man. We were just judging him on plays when the ball wasn't thrown his way. Of course, because you have to understand, if you playing a bum quarterback and that quarterback don't see that progression, that could have been very detrimental. So put it like this. Say a quarterback's never throw your way, but on film, you are getting beat every time. We not supposed to pay attention to that? We supposed to sign that guy on a massive deal because the quarterbacks don't go his way, or the guy wide open, but the quarterback got sacked? Are we not supposed to evaluate that? You gonna get that man $76 million? Now that ain't Xavier Howard. This is just sometimes you see him getting beat. So let me give you that caveat. If he gets 10 plays, you might see 2 of those where it's like, oh man, you can't be doing that. But you mean to tell me you would go with a guy that just because they don't throw his way, so his numbers look good, that you'll give him that kind of money and ignore when they don't throw his way? How he look in coverage? What are you talking about? Yeah, you judge that. Yeah, you judge when they don't throw it his way. Did he still do his job? Just because the play didn't come your way, if you didn't do your job, you better take note of that. Because if the play came your way, it would have went big. Yeah, you pay attention and judge him off of that. You got to judge his overall game. You got to judge his overall game, man. Howard allowed only a 62.6 passer rating when targeted. Second best among cornerbacks last year. Oh, I wonder what the safety, I wonder what our safety average back there too. I mean, don't make it seem like it's just Xavier Howard. When he gets, see, that's another thing y'all don't pay attention to. When he does get beat in the receiver get over the top, if they throw it that way and Rashad Jones break the play up, nobody ever even notices Xavier Howard is the one that got beat on that and Rashad Jones saved him. Nobody ever notices that. So don't give me them stats, man. Those are false fact stats. I keep talking to y'all about false facts things. False facts. The fact is, yeah, 62.6 passer rating when targeted. But the false part about it is he had help. Some of the best help, might I add. Come on, man. Better look at that whole picture, man. Don't act like Rashad Jones ain't been back there doing his thing for the last 4 years. Come on. It's Rashad Jones, ladies and gentlemen. There's a reason we loved him and he's getting paid the money he's been getting paid because he's been right there behind Xavien Howard for 4 freaking years, 3 years, whatever. He's been right behind him. Like, don't worry, homie, I got you. Take your chances up there. Get them picks. I got your backside. That's what you call team tandem. And you know what? I'll be fair. That might even mean Xavien Howard makes Rashad Jones even look better. I'll be fair. I mean, but let's look at the whole picture, man. Come on, man. Let's look at the whole picture, man. They all have help. Exactly. But we can't make it seem like, oh, he had a 62.6 passer rating when targeted. That's all he allowed, like it's just him. Let's mention the help. Just like when quarterbacks suck, let's mention why. He ain't got the help. He ain't got the O-line. When the quarterback look good, Patrick Mahomes, oh, can we please mention the O-line he got? That's all I'm saying. We want to negate to mention the things that cause things. All we want to talk about is what it caused. I don't live my life that way, y'all. I don't just look at the result. I want to evaluate what caused the result so that I can have a true gauge going forward on what I need to praise and what I don't. I know, Matthew, you late, man. You late, bro. You make sure you make a video about it, Matthew. I want to check out your thoughts on it, man. Y'all go subscribe to Fins Daily with Matthew, man. Make a video, Matthew. I want to see what you got to say about it. What's your thoughts on this? Is it good? Is it bad? And let us know why, man. TD Miami going 10-6 next year, wild card. You know the crazy thing, Carlos? I really don't know yet. I'm waiting to see what our roster looks like, and I'm waiting to see 2 preseason games before I give a real projection for the season. But people got to realize it ain't about, see, they saying we're going to be the worst team because of our roster. But when you get a group of guys playing together on the same page, the roster don't matter. Come on, man. Come on, man. Be realistic. Be realistic about what? Let me know, man. I've been slacking. No, it's cool even if you're slacking, Matthew. It ain't never too late to get right back on it, man. You don't think it's risky? He is always hurt. Kids Cat, you must have just came in the room. It ain't risky at all because even if he's hurt for the next 2 seasons, it's of no consequence. It's of no consequence. We ain't paying nobody else. And we look to be building a roster that's Super Bowl and contention worthy every year. That's a 2-year process. Even if he hurt for the next 2 years, did we really lose out? Did we really lose out? You see what I'm saying? That's why this front office was smart about what they just did. I look at this deal for what it is, man. And I think Mika should be other corner. No, Mika should not be at cornerback. Mika plays cornerback, nickel, and safety. The worst position he plays is cornerback. It's still at about a 6.8 level. Is he on a scale of 1 to 10 as a cornerback? Mika's like a 6.8. As a safety, he's like a 7.8. As a nickel, the man is every bit of a 8.9 right now to me. But he's going to end up playing safety, though. He's going to end up playing safety. Mika the truth in that nickel, y'all. I'm telling y'all. That man is the bubble screen killer. He the route jumper. I don't care if you're running this way. I'm going to get through, use my hands, and clip that running back, bring him down. But Mika do not need to get the cornerback position. It ain't going to be despicable, but He's too athletic, so since he's always close to his defender, he uses his hands too much. See, when he's in the box, he's allowed to use his hands a lot. Think about this year when he had to play cornerback. What was he doing? He was getting a lot of pass interference calls. Y'all remember that, right? And then please don't tell me y'all think I'm hating on Minka. I love me some Minka Fitzpatrick. I love some Minka Fitzpatrick, okay? Please don't tell me I'm hating on him. I'm just telling you the truth. Minka is our rover in our defense. Yes, he is. And let me tell you why he's going to be way more valuable than Rashad Jones. Because as we start drafting replacements, we start drafting more cornerbacks, drafting more safeties, drafting another nickel and stuff like that. Really, Bobby McCain's going to play the nickel. But anyway, as we start drafting these guys, Minka's going to have his safety position, but he's going to be able to go wherever he wants. There's going to be times where Minka's like, hey, send that guy in. I want to come down in the box. He's going to own that defense one day, man. Him and Christian Wilkins. Wilkins going to anchor that middle and down there with the big boys, and Minka going to be back there running the show. Man, I'm excited about it, man. I just like Minka Fitzpatrick. I ain't going to lie, y'all. Man, it's just he's loose. He's loose. He's loose. He's not out there trying to, I got to make them. No, he's just playing football. You don't see no nervous tension like that. You just see him out there trying to play football. Man, I love that cat, man. Man, team organization has been holding our fans back for years. This transition just feels different, TD. Yeah, it is. It really is, man. When he played cornerback, he had a whole lot of pass interference called against him. And it's not a detriment to him. Some of them were crap calls, too. But he's just so used to using his hands and being physical in that box. That's why every time it happened, I was like, oh, Minka with the PI. That's a tough one. Because he's in position and everything. It's just... He's just so used to using his hands up in that box, getting physical. He can use his hands like that and not get called in that box. And playing corner, he was always glued to his man. That's why they were pass interferences. See, that's what I want from X, to be glued to his man. Minka's glued to his man. But his hands, he's just he's over instinctual, so it's not good for him to just be chasing somebody because he's actually beating them to the spot. By the time he get his head around the ball there, so that the offensive player stop and Minka bumps into him. Like Minka's beating him to their route, and when he look for the ball, it's underthrown or something, the defender got to come back to get it, but Minka's momentum is running into the guy. Pass interference again. I seen a lot of plays where Minka had perfect position, got his head around, and he ended up running into the offensive guy because the offensive guy was trying to come back forward. But it's his speed. He not out there chasing nobody. He running with them. He running with them. He ain't dealing with recovery as much. Lamar gonna get trucked by Minka. He's out. Lamar, who is Lamar? Tankersley was low-key a good player, but we wasn't flashy, so no one gives him credit. I agree, man. I agree. He was linky, though, man. He just had this awkward day. I get it, though, because it was just an awkward look on the field, man. Wasn't he the same one who had that nasty crackback where he got hit and got leveled? If I'm talking about the right person, man. I agree, Kay. Lamar Jackson. Oh, man, I ain't worried about that. But anyway, man, I done ran over. I'm going to finish the night out with the white man. It's TD Fans Talk. Thank y'all for your love. Thank you for your support. We just locked Xavier Howard down. And actually, to back up what I was saying earlier, he might make it through the 5 years because he only going to be getting like 12 per year on the back end of the contract because we paying him a lot up front. So it's all good, man. TD can't wait till the season starts. Me too, man. Love y'all. Appreciate you, Kay. Love you, man. Good night, kids, cat. Thank everybody who tuned in, man. Y'all make sure you tune in.